Today I'm going to be sharing some of my favorite glute and leg exercises for muscle growth. I'm using 15-pound dumbbells here since we need to load our muscles and challenge them with weight to encourage growth. Your legs are a lot stronger than your arms, so ditch the 3 or 5-pound dumbbells you typically use for your upper body and grab some heavier ones for your legs. If you don't have access to dumbbells at home, you can also grab some bags and fill them with books to use as weights, or fill up some heavy water jugs and use those as well. I'm also going to share a little bit about how and why I got into working out and what tips I have for beginners who want to build muscle. Starting off here with Goblet Squats, I usually just hold one dumbbell at about chest height when I do these, and I like to take a thick book and place it under my heels. I'll elevate my heels for 2 reasons. The first reason being limited ankle mobility. When I was first starting out, I did not have good ankle mobility, and that made it hard to do squats without my heels rising or my chest falling forward. The second reason I elevate my heels is to target my quads more. When you elevate your heels, it allows you to sit deeper into your squat and get a nicer, longer stretch in your quads. Your ankles can flex more easily, and this lets your knees travel farther forward over your toes, which leads to greater knee flexion and greater quad activation. The next exercise I'm showing is a couple of different variations of lunges. What I love about lunges is that they are a single leg exercise which helps with any muscle imbalances you may have in your legs, and they're also very versatile. So depending on the variation you do, you can target either more of your quads or more of your glutes. I'm starting with a reverse lunge. The reverse lunge is naturally going to be more glute biased. You're going to lean forward slightly to load your glutes more and encourage more of a hip hinge. We can even elevate our front foot to get an even larger stretch in the glutes. To make the reverse lunge a bit more quad biased, we're just going to keep our torso more upright and eliminate that forward lean. The next lunge variation I'll show is a forward lunge or a walking lunge if you have the space. I loved walking lunges when I was first starting out because they're more quad focused and I was all about growing my quads. If you don't have the space to rock around though, you can just stand on your mat like I'll show here and step forward into your lunge and then alternate legs. When I first started working out, I wanted to grow my quads as fast as possible. Growing up, I had long, skinny legs and they were my biggest insecurity. I would love when fall and winter would come around because it meant I could hide my legs under sweatpants, and I would despise spring and summer because it was swimsuit and short season. When I was in middle school, I was hopeful that this insecurity wouldn't last forever because I thought it was just a matter of getting older and naturally putting on more body weight, which would make my legs bigger. But then I got to high school and the time kept passing and my legs never got bigger. I only grew more insecure as time went on. When I was 17, I started searching online for ways to make my legs bigger, and that's when I came across weightlifting and increasing your calories to gain weight. I started to learn about the insane amount of benefits that come with building muscle, such as a more sculpted body shape, stronger bones, better hormone health, better mental health, anti-aging, and higher confidence. Okay, now for some glute exercises, starting with glute bridges. I love these and I've seen insane growth in my glutes with these. You need to make sure that you're doing them correctly so you don't injure your lower back. I'm laying down on my back with my dumbbell on my hips and I'm lifting my hips toward the sky and squeezing my glutes at the top and then lowering back down. You really want to make sure you don't overextend your hips with this movement. Lift your hips as much as you can until you feel that tension in your glutes, squeeze at the top and then lower back down. If the dumbbell hurts your hips, you can grab a blanket or a thin pillow to place under the dumbbell. I wasn't as concerned with growing my glutes in the first year I started working out, but the second I started incorporating glute biased exercises in my routine, I saw lots of growth. Next I'll be showing hip thrusts. I'm using a couch here because that's what I have access to and it's the most comfortable on my back, but any chair will work and you can put a blanket over it to make it more comfortable on your back. Similar to the bridge, I'm placing the dumbbell on my hips and thrusting up from the floor and squeezing my glutes at the top. Your glutes are a lot stronger than you think and you can load lots of weight with them, so if you'd like to use 2 dumbbells for this or even ask someone to stack a bunch of books on your hips, you can do that as well. I'd feel like a fraud if I didn't mention how important your nutrition is when it comes to lifting weights and building muscle. The types of foods you're consuming and the amount of food you consume is super important. If your goal is muscle growth and or weight gain of any kind, we want to make sure we're eating the right amount of calories. What I did and what I'd recommend for any beginner is to look up a macronutrient calculator and put in your height, weight, age, and goals. It'll ask you if you want to build muscle, maintain, or lose weight. Even if you want to lose weight, if your goal at all is to build muscle, I would select either maintain weight or gain weight. And the reason for this is in order to build muscle, you need to make sure you're fueling your body properly. If you're trying to lose weight and gain muscle, but you aren't eating enough protein and fueling your body properly, you won't see muscle growth. This next exercise is Bulgarian split squats. Now guys, I absolutely despised this exercise in the beginning, but I learned to love them because of what they did for my legs and my butt. We can use whatever we use for our hip thrust, whether that be a chair or a couch. You can also either use one dumbbell or two, depending on one, your balance, and two, the strength in your legs, because these are super tough. Body weight's more than enough weight when starting off. Similar to the reverse lunges, if we want to make these more glute biased, we'll have a bit of a forward hinge in your torso. But if we want them more quad biased, you'll maintain an upright torso. Also, I want to mention the speed you do these exercises with. Try not to fly through them. Keep them slow and controlled so that your muscles maintain enough time under tension to keep them engaged and to stimulate growth. A big struggle for me when I was starting my weight gain journey was eating enough food. I wasn't used to eating 3 big meals a day and 2 snacks and lots of protein, so getting all this food down was tough and often made me feel sick to my stomach. But I do have some tips that made the process a lot easier. My first tip is to make high-calorie protein shakes. I would make these 700 to 800 calorie protein shakes every day that had banana, berries, peanut butter, protein powder, milk, honey, honestly anything I could just shove in there. Another tip is to cook using a good amount of olive oil or butter. They're healthy fats and you can sneak in an extra 100 to 200 calories in your meals if you cook with them. Finally, spacing your meals and snacks out and eating every 2 to 3 hours is super helpful as well. If you wake up at 10 a.m. and go to bed at 10 p.m. and try and sneak everything in there, it's really difficult. But for example, if you wake up at 6 a.m. And then go to bed at 10, it's easier to space out your meals. Romanian deadlifts have always been my favorite hamstring exercise. You can also tweak them to make them more glute biased or hamstring biased depending on what you'd like. It can be easy to injure your back with these, so I want to make sure everyone's doing them correctly. Hold your 2 dumbbells in front of your legs and hinge at your hips. Think about there being a door open behind you and you can't move your feet to close the door, so you can only move your butt. So you lean forward and send your hips and butt backwards to shut the door. Look slightly in front of your feet, don't look directly down at your feet, and don't look up. Keep your neck and spine neutral. Only go down as far as you can while keeping your back straight. The second your lower back starts to curl up, send your hips back up. Consistency is key when it comes to your workout routine and building muscle. You're not always going to feel motivated to work out, but it's not about the motivation, it's about discipline. It's choosing to work out even when you don't feel like it. It's choosing to eat the healthier option at times and not always giving in to your cravings. Life's about living, so you don't need to have the most restrictive mindset to reach your goals, but you do want to be aware and mindful of your goals when choosing which foods to eat. It might sound corny or cringy, but the gym seriously has built my confidence. I went from being the most insecure and depressed girl in high school to being confident in my skin and looking forward to summer when I can pull out my shorts. It's also given me so much discipline in every area of my life. I don't give up as fast, I feel like I don't rely on motivation to get things done, and I finish what I start. The last exercise I'm going to show here is calf raises. It's so important to not neglect them. I didn't do any calf movements at all for the first 1.5 years that I was working out, and it just made my legs look weird, and I'm really happy with the way they look now. But the simplest exercise for calves is going to be just regular calf raises. Hold your dumbbells by your sides and shift your weight up onto your toes before lowering back down. These are a great finisher for your workout, or if you get too lazy and you don't want to do them at the end, it's super good to just start with calf raises as well, but please don't neglect your calves like I did, guys. that's all the tips I have for you. I promise when I say that if I can do it, you can too. I mean that, because I started from nothing. I wasn't able to do a push-up. I wasn't able to do a modified push-up. I couldn't do anything, guys, and I swear now I can do so many things. So please just be patient and slow. Promise you'll build muscle and you're gonna feel so much more confident.